everyone, I'm Carla. I'm a Boston wedding officiant with Once Upon a Vow. This is the very first of our Emerald Necklace Elopement video series, and today we're going to go check out 5 alternative elopement spots here in Franklin Park. Are you ready? Let's go!
Franklin Park was designed by Frederick Law Olmsted, often considered the father of landscape architecture. He is the person credited with designing the Emerald Necklace, a string of parks built around Greater Boston. Sadly, Franklin Park doesn't get the attention it deserves when we look at his work because it's overshadowed by what is generally known as his greatest achievement, New York City's Central Park. Today, much of Franklin Park is a bit neglected. Not all of it, not the spaces that are currently in regular public use, but it has some awesome hidden gems that could use a little polish. And I'd like to see if we could show a little TLC to this local public spot that has a whole lot of beauty and a whole lot of love to offer back. We at Once Upon a Vow think that for some, these gorgeous rustic grounds may be the perfect setting for their elopement or micro wedding.
Hello! Welcome to Franklin Park. Hey, so we're at the historic site of the Bear Dens, located in the Long Crouch Woods area of Franklin Park.
The Bear Dens are an old abandoned relic of the once glorious, public, and free zoological attraction built around 1912. Back in the day, it was a hit and attracted millions every year to enjoy nature in seriously close proximity to giant, majestic bears. After a couple of decades of success, the novelty may have worn off, but mostly it was the depression of the 1930s that caused it to close. The bears once housed in these dens were moved by a commission who took over the zoo and privatized it. Today's Franklin Park Zoo exists just a jump and a skip away from here, actually. You should check it out. What remains in this space is this beautiful park's history. It has been in disrepair and existed in anonymity for far too long, and I think we can bring it back to life by celebrating love. The nature that surrounds it may be a little wild, a little raw, a little unsettling for some, but if you're into history or are a park lover or you appreciate wildlife and nature or you're just a local Bostonian who grew up around Franklin Park, then I strongly recommend you consider this spot.
Hi there. We're at the Overlook Shelter Ruins in Franklin Park.
The Overlook Shelter ruins are now the remains of one of the only buildings Frederick Law Olmsted constructed. Before it went up in flames in the 1940s, the building served as a field house for Franklin Park's athletic fields. It had changing rooms and a viewing area for sporting events below. As was the case with most of what Olmsted designed, the building deferred to the landscape. You see, good old Frederick was a pioneer in the conservation movement, so the building was rustic, low to the ground, and hidden by plants. Today, all that is left are these steps, which are pudding stone, a conglomerate rock local to Boston and around much of the park. These steps are truly dope spots for an elopement. You, me, and your favorite person can set the stage for the ceremony at the top of the steps. The background is wild and green and may be perfect for a playful ceremony. Although short-lived, in 1966, Boston activist Elma Lewis revived the ruins as a concert space, but for now it remains unused. Perhaps you're an activist or musician and want to resonate with the musical and the power of the people spirit of the past, or you're spontaneous adventurers that enjoy discovering weird new places. Either way, this may be the place for your love party.
Welcome to Schoolmaster Hill. Isn't it cool?
Schoolmaster Hill was where Ralph Waldo Emerson resided for 2 years. Emerson was known by many as the father of transcendentalism. He frowned upon the quote-unquote unthinking conformity of his day and urged people to find quote-unquote an original relation to the universe. When the hill was turned into a public park by Frederick Law Olmsted in 1882, it included a terrace connected to shelter leading towards steps on the hill, which was covered with vines and furnished with beautiful furniture. The building was multi-use and a source of unity and community in Boston as it offered its visitors free hot water to make tea and gather. Later, it served as a golf clubhouse for decades, but the original building was destroyed by a fire. In the 90s, the ruins were partially restored, and currently they overlook the municipal golf course and some green Boston space. The whole area has several nooks that can turn into your sacred wedding stage. Aside from the beauty and history, the fact that Emerson once lived here and wrote about his connection to nature and urged others to do the same is pretty dope for anyone interested in poetry, philosophy, the esoteric, or for anyone who feels connected to the land, the elements, or the universe.
Looks like we're halfway up the 99 steps.
The 99 steps, like other stairways in the Emerald Necklace, is said to be a classic Olmsted design feature. Although we found the count to be off by 19 steps, the 80 that we did count still serve their original purpose. They provide easy access to safely traverse the rocky, inclined terrain along the parks. Given that it was designed with Victorian urbanites in mind, there are often resting areas at the end of the staircases and steep climbs. You'll see giant rocks that have been cut just so for seating. Atop these steps is a perfect setting to honor the marriage of those who can appreciate the symbology of ascension, or for those who can deeply resonate with the human desire to be one with nature.
And this is Scarborough Pond.
Scarborough Hill along the west side of the pond was originally intended by Olmsted to house sheep and cattle, but after much public demand for a waterway in the park, he added the pond, and it turned into what it is today. Scarborough Pond is home to large flocks of Canadian geese, mallard ducks, cormorants, and great blue heron. In the spring, we see red-winged blackbirds and other songbirds, and you might even see a Baltimore oriole hanging on a tree branch. There are two beautiful old stone bridges that cross over the pond in different locations, with scattered park benches available to enjoy the scenery and birdwatch. If you're a bird watcher or a bird lover or someone who can appreciate waterways in all its forms, then this is a sweet romantic spot. You just have to watch out for the bird poop, or not, as it's set to be good luck.